either dementia or some sort of neurological disorder. Okay. Yeah, that might explain why he just signed off on it.
Yeah. Or it'll be an estate now that manages him, I guess. Yeah, I only watched season 1 and 2 of The Boys. Seems I should not see the rest. On another note, I enjoy your takes, good and bad, on movies. Also nice to see Dark Hour and Platoon back again. You rock. Thank you, my friend. You rock, in fact. But you know what doesn't rock? The mango and grok. And I didn't even intend for that to rhyme, but here we are. So I watched it today, and my theater was good enough to play it at 1.25 speed. And I was still finding myself checking my watch when I was watching this. So to put it into context, this is the first theatrically released Star Wars movie in, 7 years? So it's been 2019 when we got our last one with Rise of Skywalker. 7 years is a long time, and Star Wars has not been through, well, it's not exactly gone from strength to strength since then.
It's
so I guess they needed to come back big with this. They needed to make a splash. They needed to really, announce that they have returned and Star Wars is back, baby. And this movie, man, I don't think I've felt less invested in something since the last time I used Microsoft Excel. It was absolutely... It was a movie that managed to do absolutely nothing, right? It was basically 2 episodes. It was a 2-episode special of the Mandalorian TV show, just sandwiched together. That's all it was. And man, everything that Chris Gore said when he saw the first 25 minutes, that's just projected over the entire movie. I came away from this feeling nothing whatsoever. Just, I'm glad I got through it in time for open bar. That was it. If I'd paid to go and see this at the cinema, I did, obviously, but I would feel pretty fucking shortchanged. What did you guys think?
But it's not just 2 or maybe 3 episodes of a TV show. It's like the middle 3 episodes. It's the filler 3 episodes. It's not even the bit that gets to the point. There's no Moff Gideon making Force clones or whatever the fuck it was in Mando season 3. It's not leading anywhere. It's just almost like a day in the life shot of the Mandalorian, which is. It's almost what people liked, I think, about season 1 to begin with. The writing was never great, and it never had a massive sense of purpose, but it was a show that took a lot of joy in sort of just being in the world it was in. It wasn't adding much to that world, but when you come off the back of Last Jedi, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, having something that didn't obviously hate itself was nice. It was a bit refreshing, and it reminded people that this galaxy has a huge amount of life in it. Look, it's all over the screen. It's in every single frame. You get all those cameos. You get all those creatures walking past. That's all nice enough to see, because it sort of dimly reminds you of all the toys that you used to buy. And that was good for a season. And then when Mando tries to get itself a story is when things start going particularly wrong. It has never been good on the character front. But the story is nonsensical by the time you get to season 3. This sort of just reverts back to season 1. It's just aren't you...
I think nonsensical in season 3 is a bit of an understatement, but we'll leave it there.
Just happy to be here again? No.
This never should have been released theatrically. This should have gone out on Disney Plus. It should have just been a special or something.
I agree with Platoon, by the way, that it did feel very like you kind of got plopped into the middle of a storyline. And when I was watching it, I was like, it felt that there was this weirdness that it's like you didn't need to be super familiar with anything up to this point. I don't remember shit about Mandalorian season 3 or anything. And I was like, okay, all this is making sense, but it felt hollow and empty. The one good thing I could say about it is it wasn't a woke piece of shit, it was just a regular piece of shit. That was basically the scenario. It was just a bunch of fetch quests. That's the best way to put it. It was, hey, you need to go here and do a thing, you need to go here and do a thing, and they would try to connect it with action sequences that some of them were okay, some of them were, if you isolate them, but it was almost as if they didn't realize that less was more. The older Star Wars films had those action sequences between the longer parts that were kind of fetch questy, but it wasn't like, okay, go here, big long fight sequence, I'm here now, and that's what it was. It just felt like shitty dominoes falling over and over.
Yeah, the problem is there's no emotional investment to tie together those action sequences, and so you essentially just have a bunch of NPCs spouting generic dialogue at each other to move the quest forward to the next objective. And the setup for the plot is about as simple as you can get. It's like that episode in season 1 of The Mandalorian where he has some of his parts stolen from his ship, and in order to get them back he has to go on a quest to kill a monster, and then the Jawas will give him the parts back in order to like get the Razor Crest up and running, and off he goes. So in this one it's like, I should just, for the benefit of the people in chat, I'll give you the most basic rundown of the plot. Mando is now working once again as a bounty hunter. He's working for the New Republic to hunt down former Imperial commanders that he can then bring to justice. And so he's after the next one, but nobody quite knows where he is or even what he looks like. He's got a deck of cards, basically. It's exactly like what America did when they invaded Iraq, and they had their deck of cards with all the top Iraqi commanders, and so they're doing this now. So he's after the next one. Nobody knows exactly what this guy looks like or whatever, but there's two like Hutts, like members of the Hutt clan, crime syndicate, whatever you want to call it, who apparently do know who this guy is and where they can find him, but they're only going to help if they can get their son back, or he's been kidnapped by someone else. And so it's literally that 3-step process, like Dark Hour said. Go rescue the son that's been kidnapped, bring it back to them. They'll give you the location of this rebel commander or former Imperial commander, which then you can go and capture. That's the basic setup for the story, but obviously things go wrong along the way, and it's the most basic bitch setup for a movie you could get, and it's so strange because I so expected with this movie that it was going to be something bigger, and I don't know if I necessarily wanted it to be, but I feel like it kind of needed to be. It needed to tie together some stuff from the TV show. It needed to tie Mando into a bigger universe, because we're not in a TV show anymore. It's a movie. It has to mean something in the Star Wars universe, and this means nothing. Absolutely nothing.
A couple of people in the chat asked this question, and they mentioned that it's like the Star Wars, the Clone Wars film. It's actually more like that than you realize. It's the same Hutt. It's Rhoda the Hutt, same one from that pilot movie. They even show a picture, like the hologram that pops up is him from the Clone Wars movie. Then he turns out to be like a roided out Incredible Hulk knockoff.
So yeah, he's a bulky Hutt. You're right. So he's weightlifting and stuff. And, like he's now fighting. Like he's been captured, and he's now used in like fighting pit tournaments. And he's on his last fight, right? And so he believes that he's going to get released after he completes his final fight. His contract or his bounty is going to be paid off, and he can go his own way. And he doesn't want to go back to his family because he wants to escape from that life. He wants to
they want him dead because he's the son of Jabba the Hutt. So they want to kidnap him in order that they can kill him, because the son of Jabba the Hutt is a threat to them. I love the way that he exposits all of this for us at least 3 times in dialogue, as though it's the first time each time. It's so like, this is why I'm here. This is what I think. This is what I think about the place that I'm in, and this is what it means. And 5 minutes later, they reacquaint themselves, and it's like, this is why I'm here. This is what I think about it. This is what I hope to get. It's like, we've had this conversation. Why do you have nothing to say? It's a 2.5-hour movie. How are we repeating dialogue every scene?
It was more like an hour and 45 minutes in my case, but yeah.
When finding out that they were even making this movie, right, the first assumption I would have is like, okay, so they'll probably have Ahsoka, they'll probably have a couple of like Luke or
yeah, they're going to tie together the shitty like Filoni universe or something.
If we've got an Empire remnant, we'll probably have a big old Star War at the end with a bunch of stormtroopers and TIE fighters and a capital ship of some kind, and this ancient fucking, maybe Charles Dance will play some Empire leader that they didn't get from before, and all you'll have is one scene where he says, kill them. And then he gets shot and blown up or something. And of course, the end will be like, there's a greater threat, Thrawn. And then it'll be like, tune in next time to see Mando and team go against Thrawn. No, and I say this lovingly. Chat, you remember the Book of Boba Fett. Everyone does. Great show. The villain of Mando and Grogu, the movie, the next movie in the Star Wars saga, is the 2 Hutts in one of those episodes of that show. They have
I
a
love
final boss.
the moment Mauler mentioned like Book of Boba Fett, Dark Arrow just took a fucking shot of tequila.
That was not intentional.
It's like, fuck it, it's my only way out. Ah.
And there isn't any real major key jangling. There's a bit,
No.
or whatever, but nowhere near what I would have expected them to do. And honestly, as a person who's invested in good storytelling, I'm just like, lol. But then, if I were on like the board or the pencil pushing sort of fucking bean counting people, I'd be like, what are you doing? This movie's not gonna make any money.
This is the weird thing where it's almost like I would advocate almost for key jangling in this case, because if you can get rid of key jangling and we're not going to have any callbacks really to previous events or the movies or anything like that, but you've got to replace that with something. And it doesn't. There's literally nothing to fill that void. This is just a nothing burger of a movie. It is astounding how little soul there is to this, and how little meaning there is to it.
But there was actually some really stupid key jangling. So when they do announce that his next fight is his last, and, he's gonna die. It's the Jarek fight, which is the name of the board game from the Millennium Falcon. You remember the chess?
And even have the set
if you
piece
look,
in there,
all
right?
of the creatures were from the board game. And some of them did the same exact motions of picking up and throwing. And all that. So it was
That's the sort of like the totally irrelevant key jangling in a sense. It's like, remember this thing? It's that. It's not story key jangling.
It's not Luke
like
Skywalker, you know.
No, and it's not any kind of like setup key jangling.
I do not want it.
No,
there's also no characters in this movie, right? The Hutts are nothing. They're just like a nothing, but they're just like generic evil guys who just want to like take over the crime syndicate. Mando has no personality whatsoever. That's his like almost defining trait. Grogu has nothing because he's just a stupid baby that can't talk. Sigourney Weaver don't give a fuck in this
Jesus
movie.
Christ,
She barely got out of her
Give me my
chair for half
paycheck.
of the scenes.
And so, like, what is left? There's like another bounty hunter who's like a kind of boss character for Mando to fight. No personality, don't know anything about him. Just he's just there. He's just a guy who he fights.
You know his friend who he meets up with in the prologue, who's from Fomo's show. I forget the name of the guy. It begins with Z. It's something like Zap.
Carillius or something, isn't it?
Whatever. I have a feeling that if I showed this film to, like, I don't know, it's my sister or something, she'd probably be like, oh, is he from the Mando show? I'd be like, no. I'd be like, what? Where's he from? It's like a different show.
Oh yeah, here we go. Babu Frick got any personality? Not really. Just annoying.
But they're all the same creature. Like they all have the same personality. I can't believe there's the whole fucking Team America episode in this. It's just like, let's have puppets, bad puppets at that, just go on an adventure. I'm sitting there watching this. Is this Star Wars? What am I actually watching here? Why am I watching the animatronic puppets just climb up cliffs and do random crazy shit? And by the way, having like their thing is because Mando gets captured because he's an idiot, and their plan is to go rescue him. So they all get in a ship that he can't fit in, and then they land, and then they rescue him, and then he looks at the ship. And they can't.
And there's literally a moment where they're all walking back to the ship, and like Mando looks at it, and he's like, "That ship is smaller than my entire body." Like, it's so dumb. Yeah. So for the benefit of people in chat, this is essentially 2 episodes of Mandalorian sandwiched together, right? So episode 1, he has to go and rescue. Is it Rada? Is that his name?
Rota.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like he does the pit fighting thing with him, and then they break out. He gets him back, and then he goes his own way, and then Mando just heads off with Grogu after collecting his payment. He's got a new Razor Crest, by the way. It's like functionally identical to the old one, because they just want that shit back, basically. But anyway, goes off. He's just chilling with him. Then he gets captured by evil bounty hunter guy and brought back to the other Hutts for punishment. And that's when Baby Yoda then has to go on a rescue mission to save him. And it's as retarded as you might imagine, because as Platoon said, you've got a bunch of animatronic puppets working together. And it's nice that they try to use practical effects for this, but they probably shouldn't have, because it looks so shit.
I've been tired of them running on the excuse that it's practical so it can be shit. It's really annoying. Practical, just like CG, can be good, great, terrible, or okay. It can be all of it.
They seem to have almost memed into existence that Star Wars puppetry and Star Wars animatronics in the OT were always like janky and goofy looking. Like Baby Yoda being obviously a puppet is used as a joke several times across the Mando show and pretty much several times across this movie as well. You go back and watch something like Return of the Jedi, that's not ever what it was. Like, one of the things that really stands out about the OT Star Wars in particular is how very, very good the puppetry is. You don't look at Yoda and think he looks janky. You look at Yoda and you sort of forget he's a puppet because it's all really, really well done. Whereas since then it's all been like, oh, that quirky old thing with the obvious puppets, let's just do that. That's never what people liked about it.
I think the cardinal sin that you, I think, showed more, like, it's the bit where they drop Baby Yoda onto the ground and he runs off, and it's just like the most shitty looking...
like a broken remote control car. Just going
it's like they put him and glued him onto the top of a radio controlled car and just sent it off. And he's
even better.
Little legs speed. It's sad, but like this whole movie.
Hey chat, you ever wanted to see Jabba the Hutt in a car chase? That's in this film. There's so many things that happen in this film that I think all of us are just like...
not kidding.
Jesus.
My favorite thing...
Because Rota can speak English as well. We should probably mention that. Like, we're used to the
They
Hutt
all can,
speaking,
actually.
Yeah, they can if they choose to, but he does it a lot. And it's like... It's everything that I would never have wanted to see.
I've never looked at the Hutts, right? Seeing and hearing Jabba, I love his voice in Return of the Jedi, and then being like, oh, this is a relative of his. Yeah, and it's very alien and sort of intimidating. Rota's is like, hey, Mando. Yeah, man, how you doing? You know, we gotta get out of here, dude. Like, oh, shit.
Like I said, I said
yeah, it's really difficult when your dad's Jabba the Hutt, and you gotta, like, get out from under his shadow.
Like I said backstage, it's Jeremy Allen White. It just sounds like you took Lip from Shameless and made him into a Hutt. That's exactly what it sounds like in every interaction.
And it's not just him. All the line reading is like this. It's like they're all reading the script for the first time. He's a particularly bad example because he is a CGI creature, and so you've got basically nothing else to latch onto but the vocal performance. But then compare it to Sigourney Weaver, who I don't think I've ever seen less bothered about the movie she's in. Like she is
in it.
I know.
She has like 3 minutes.
I am 100% like convinced that like she took the paycheck, didn't read the script, didn't know what her character was. She just showed up on the day. It's like, all right, what the fuck do you need me to say? Like, okay, just stand in this big green room, okay, and just say these lines. Like, go with whatever tone you want. It doesn't matter.
I saw a video on Twitter where she's in some interview and they're like, oh, you big fan of like Mando, Mandalorian and Grogu, or just Mandalorian show? And she was like, when John called me, I didn't know what it was. then I was like, oh, I'll watch that. And oh, I loved it. I couldn't stop watching it. She says it, I was just like, oh.
Somebody in the chat just asked about Martin Scorsese's acting. I don't understand why, but for some reason he runs a space halal cart. I don't really.
I know
understand. Well, okay, why?
Because he's the same species that Jon Favreau was in Solo, and the meme is that like he's a chef because fucking Jon Favreau is the movie chef. I know that he's talked about this in some interview at some point. But like, if you're a director and you're doing a special animated character role, I guess you got to be that species now. This starting a trend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that was kind of my question. Was like, of all the things for them to be like, hey, Martin Scorsese, would you like some lines? And they put him in that role.
Well, that's the thing. I thought it was meta because like, the premise of his character in this movie is if you pay him enough money, he'll say what you want him to say.
I suppose that's all of them, isn't it?
Well, first
also,
of all,
I mean, speaking of directors and producers that were in it, Dave Filoni was in the movie too. Don't forget that.
Yes.
He still had his stupid ass hat on too. That might be
geriatric X-Wing society. So that was another slightly strange thing. Is that you look at Sigourney Weaver clearly not giving a fuck, and she's getting on. She's in her 70s, and then you think, well, okay, at least you were only in it briefly, and I don't care, and you didn't care either. And then at the end, when the X-Wings lead an attack on Nal Hutta, which planet design terrible. Every X-Wing pilot's like in their 60s, including her. She's flying an X-Wing.
Well,
she's
yeah, because it's all
the
people like, oh, don't you remember this guy from this previous movie? They're back.
What happens to the New
tired.
Republic's military recruitment if they've already got pensioners to fly their fucking X-Wings for them?
I think
Yeah,
that kind of
'cause-
explains why the New Republic's so fucking awful. Gary, we were just talking about Mango and Grok movie.
I
you
just
enjoy
finished it. I don't even know how to review this, dude.
Nope.
Like how?
Yep.
It's
There's
Mahler
nothing
said
to
it-
review. Nothing
there's no-
happens.
No, it's three. Mahler said it best. It's 3 filler episodes of a filler movie. I guess we have a filler movie. So Mahler said that's pretty unique. I think that's a unique thing.
What comes to your mind when you say filler movie, right? It's like, is this the first one, or am I missing something?
No,
Filler
this might be
movie.
the first one. It might be. Well, no, it might be the first one. I mean, you could call Solo a filler movie, but no. You know what? They call it a kids movie. You know what? Every kid wants to see, guys. A 76-year-old woman pilot an X-wing. That's totally not a Kathleen Kennedy insert. You know, that's what. Sure,
Well,
kids
just-
around. Come on, Dad.
We were just talking like I hope the paycheck for Sigourney Weaver was good for this one because she did not give a fuck at any
Nope.
moment throughout this movie.
Well, dude, sorry, we need to talk about Pedro Pascal's in this film. He shot for one day, I assume.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
stuntman for the rest of it, and he just
That's
recorded his
Okay,
lines in a sound
why did the
booth.
Jabbas give? Why did the Jabbas, the Hutts, give
The
him
Jabbas.
the Jabbas? Why did the Jabbas? Why did the Hutts give him his helmet? If they wanted
I
us
don't
to
know.
die.
So he could put it back on, and then you just let the stuntman take over. It's like
Why they let him
Pedro's like tired these days, man. He can't
let
do
him keep
this
his
kind of
armor.
work.
Everyone who ever captures
Yeah.
this motherfucker leaves the armor on.
Leaves the armor on, but you want to kill him somehow. And maybe this is just a technicality. And I asked you guys when I was watching this, I'm like, what kind of a Hutt says I'm my own man?
A Hut written by Dave Filoni. I
Okay,
Uh,
I mean,
I just realized I had spray. I looked in my inventory like 7 fucking times. I'm an absolute retard.
well,
say
my
I'm
own
my
man
own
now.
Hutt,
I think my
or
favorite thing. I think
as
my
far as
favorite
I'm concerned,
thing
you have to
was
say
Ken.
Fabloni. This is a Fabloni product.
it is.
Did you guys see what Favreau said? Where he was like, I don't even know why this was made. And it's like, you're the director and the writer.
Neither do we.
That man's soul has been sucked right out, and
Poor
he's
guy.
just a husk at this point. It's like, yeah, I'll make this movie. Just give me a paycheck. It's like,
Yep.
there's nothing. Like that's the thing. Like we were talking about this, and I think you touched upon it there as well. Like, how do you even review it when it's got nothing? It's a movie that's 2 hours of absolute soulless nothing. It's like AI could have probably done a better job, like rustling you up a Star Wars movie at this point. And we were all just quietly shocked at how there was not even callbacks to the movies or really even the TV show or the characters or anything from that. There's no guest appearances. Bo-Katan's not there. Like nobody from the show is in it. Luke Skywalker's not in it. None of the characters from the OT or anything are there, like de-aged with all their soulless CGI nonsense. They didn't even try that. Like they just did nothing. It's like this movie operates on the premise of like, well, if you do nothing, then you can't do anything wrong. Like,
It does
I
feel that way.
guess.
Maybe that is the conclusion to reach here, that they were so terrified by every single decision failing in every way, shape, and form for, pilfering the prequels, the OT, and just subverting and deconstructing all this shit. It's like, so what do we do? It's like, make a filler episode of Mandalorian a full movie and don't touch anything. Just
It
have
feels-
him kill people and blow stuff up, and that's the end.
It feels obligatory, right? There's not that many humans in it. Like, it tries to be a Tartakovsky cartoon for a while. There's just a bunch of creatures, and there's a nice black alien in the swamp who helps little baby Yoda, with some fish. And, like, it's so freaking random that it was hard to, like, it is so boring. I don't know. Again, they're going to bring up kids' movie. Like, why do you hate your children? Why would you want to bore them like this?
what would you even say to your kids? Because like at this point, say it was a young kid that's going to watch for like the Baby Yoda and stuff. They wouldn't even really know much about Star Wars necessarily, and even if they did, like there's nothing in this that's going to make them think of Star Wars.
That's
Like,
the
this
thing.
may
That
actually
Star Wars
play-
is almost uniquely. It's not a kid's franchise. I know George Lucas has said some dumb things about like, oh, it's made for 12-year-old boys. You didn't make the original one for 12-year-old boys. Stop lying to us. I know you made lots of money from 12-year-old boys because they all bought the toys, but that was never what the story was. It's kind of uniquely intergenerational storytelling. I think pretty much everyone here, I imagine, got into it because the dad showed them it, and the dads liked it when if they were old enough, they saw it when it first came out when they were not kids. If you don't have that kind of family tie anymore, which Star Wars doesn't really, it sort of does, but only for the really old stuff, then kids might enjoy the creatures, I guess, but they're not going to get anything. Well, there's nothing about this movie that's going to stick in a child's mind and saying this is synonymous with Star Wars. That's not going to happen in the way that it used to with the OT. And it makes it very difficult for a film like this. If this film were coming out in the context of a really strong mainline Star Wars cinematic run, if there was a main trilogy going on, if the story was leading somewhere, I think maybe people will be looking at this a little bit more fondly, because it's like, okay, this doesn't really matter, but I'm inhabiting a galaxy and I'm enjoying where the overall story is going. But when this is the only thing on offer, then you're kind of fucked. There's nothing for anyone. Your kids will get maybe 2 hours of boredom alleviator out of it, and that's it.
A 7-year gap, dude. 7 fucking years, and you want people to return for this?
There's
What are you doing?
There's no selling point to this.
You're like, instead of stupid, I'd be like, you guys are psychotic. What the fuck are you doing?
This is somehow both written in second screen and ADHD style, because you can look away for a long period of time and then you hear a lot of noise because it gets really loud at certain points, and then you look up and that's when the action sequences are happening. So it's clear. I think it might actually. It may actually some the younger kids nowadays. It may actually do that.
There's a very long sequence where Mando gets severely injured and Baby Yoda drags him into like a little hut that he's constructed, and it's just this long sort of montage of him trying to care for him and look after him and stuff. I went off and took a dump and came back, and like it was still going. Nothing had progressed during that time. This movie it's filler, as Mauler said. Like this is like not just like the entire concept of the movie is filler, but there is massive quantities of filler within the filler where it's just, well, we've got to eat up some screen time. What can we do?
Yeah,
Yoda's just looking after him.
Steal a fish.
You don't need to watch the action scenes. Once it starts, you hear the noise in the background, just ignore it, and when you get back, things will be resolved, and then you get your little, setup for the next action scene, but they're pointless. They're absolutely, like, the entire movie's pointless.
Arguably counterproductive, because like, if you begin your movie and the Mandalorian takes out an entire base of Imperial Remnant, 4 AT-ATs, and like the list goes on, and then you remember, oh yeah, he's invincible. So
yeah,
why am I going to invade? Like, and that's
Iron
the
Man
first action scene as well. Like, there's no overarching threat introduced until almost the 90-minute mark, I want to say, which was where, like, if this were a TV show, that would be the episode transition to like episode 6 of 8. That might be where it starts, but until then, it's just that he's going through beating the shit out of everyone, so you can just switch off. But then when it does want you to take an action scene seriously later on, you can't, because you already remember how this is written, and like he's not going to lose, he can't die, so why should I care?
I have a question. Why would you put walkers on a mountain? That seems
Yeah.
like the worst place to put them.
Well, why
They're in the one place where
Especially
they
on the
lose.
cliff.
Yeah.
Well, the cliff's edge, yeah, it's the worst place for them to be.
Bad terrain. I mean, I know they say they're all terrain, but it's like they're not
They're-
all.
I did,
all terrain.
Establish, like, if they can climb it or something. Like, do something. But they're just rickety
they
old
have,
things you can just,
Well, for
I
the
did
benefit of
enjoy-
the chat, like, his plan is that Mando goes into this base to get this Imperial guy. The Imperial guy runs away, goes down an elevator, into an AT-AT, across a mountain, into a ship in the AT-AT, and then tries to fly away.
It is the funniest Dr. Evil level nonsense, like escape plan. And then, of course,
all
I
it needed
love
was
the
a
fact-
giant penis rocket to fly out of, and it would have been fun.
Yes, that would have
Yeah.
been right. Dude, I
Oh my
love the
god, that
return
looks
of,
like a.
he launches out of the AT-AT, of course, and so if he'd gone any other direction, he would have been fine. He goes in the perfect direction for Mando to shoot him down. But the thing I was noticing, I was like, oh, dude, the DNA of the sequels is still here. He could have flown up. If he'd just gone up, he would have been fine. But he didn't know where up was.
Well, I think
It's
we've
like the era of
established.
the Empire.
all
I think
those,
we've
those
established
thermal-
it's the some terrain armored transport. So it's an ST-AT.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was
But yeah, it's like all those like self-destruct thermal detonators on board were like they were timed just long enough to allow Mando to shoot at the transport as it's flying away, and then they blow up. It's like, oh wow, that was convenient timing, wasn't it?
I never understand fucking that stupid gremlin. It's like, oh god, we gotta get out of here. Look at the explosives. Like, use the force and throw them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
didn't think
I
this
don't
as well.
understand why you're taking a child into battle all the time.
Because he's got plot armor.
Well, I
It's
agree with
like this,
Ryan.
like-
I think he's retarded. I think he should be talking right now, and he's got a speech impediment or something. Something's going on with him. Okay, he ain't all there.
Gina's fight was longer than Petro's time on screen.
Oh,
How is
gets
it
more than
possible that
17
everyone
seconds, to be
involved
fair.
with that lawsuit lost this week?
it was a fix.
I mean, it was not a great fight. It wasn't a great fight.
Not a
But
fix. That was
Pedro
what was
Pascal
gonna
is on
happen.
screen for at least 2 minutes. Absolutely
Trinker-
holds it in just like
I feel like he's
6
released Disney. Like, what a setup, dude. The amount of money he's probably making. This will happen between season 2 and 3 of Mando, by the way. It's what damaged the shit out of all the storylines. Is he basically threatened to leave. I'm
Yep.
certain of this at this point. And then they were like, dude, please stay. And the major amount that we're paying you for now is more than market.
So in the original, the helicopter gets shot down with a rocket. In this one, it gets taken down by the bugs. You're telling me Leon's just gonna stand there and watch that happen? He's not gonna shoot them? At least the other one made a little more sense, right? A guy pops up, shoots them with the rocket. Last second thing, you can't do much about it. This, he just watches them. Dude, there's some things in this remake that are quite frankly the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. And it makes me wonder why they even remade it. They should have just directly ported it. Just update the graphics. I don't know what the fuck they're doing here.
Marketing
Why?
than it is the acting.
What? Anybody can go. Wait, I can do it.
I'm the Mandalorian.
Yes.
I can talk like this for 2 hours.
Give me a fucking sandwich. I'll do it. No, I wouldn't work for Disney.
Then he had the
nothing-
goal
yeah,
in
there's
an
nothing about
interview to
Pedro
say,
that
I'll
makes you
carry
think-
on making these movies as long as my body could do it. It's like, your body's not in the movie. What are you talking about?
Well,
So,
Drinker,
it's funny, so they
I'm going to
went through
go
that-
to the theatre tomorrow. The same theatre you went to watch Mandalorian. Also, Dark Hour, it's not Dave Filoni. It's, as I like to call him, Gave Phil My Holy, because you always get the effeminate man to talk about the butchest movies ever. And also something that Platoon said when he described the first season of The Mandalorian. It was a very good first season, mostly, but then there was another show from the 2000s called Lost, which also had a very good first season, and then it fell off the map. So Jon Favreau, who has directed this film, was the coolest kid on the block with MySpace. Remember that from 2007? Everybody tried to be his friend on MySpace, and when I tried, got thrown off. So when you see him now
Nightmare.
eating all the donuts, well, what more can you say? The guy doesn't care anymore.
The problem with Jon Favreau is like he's had these incredible successes with things like Iron Man and like got the Mandalorian going and stuff. He either is a good company man and he just allows himself to get railroaded by studios into making things he doesn't want to make or just so that they get taken over, or maybe he's just not the creative force that he once was.
Maybe not. Or I think of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Remember Good Will Hunting 2? And Gus Van Sant was just, they're asking him about a scene and he's like counting. I'm counting Ben. And he's just sitting there counting money. That's how I imagine Bob.
Favreau only really has like 1 or 2 solid.
Oh
you
no,
actually-
we're gonna start there. Was he ever really that good?
Well, no, I mean it's not like I'm not
Swingers
saying
is
that-
awesome. Iron Man was
It's
awesome.
not like it's
Elf
not
was
like he
awesome.
was the greatest. It's not. I don't think he sold sold
Made?
his soul or anything
I
like
don't
that.
think
he
anyone
was, like-
said he was the greatest Dark Hour. I was just talking about
Yeah,
how
well,
he
like,
made movies that were good.
what I'm trying to say is I don't think he really lost too much.
I think he's lost his fastball or his desire. And listen, it's it's not easy to make movies, and if you got like Disney just willing to give you anything, all right.
Man, like, yeah, sure, but I don't know. I just feel like even if they do, can't you pull someone out of your ass? Jesus.
I think this was it, Pollard.
Well, then, yeah, that's over for him, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, because you then have to ask yourself, well, okay, where's this going to end up box office wise?
Oh,
Right?
bad.
Because I mean, this
It is
really
boring.
bad.
It is
Because-
really boring. There's no
Well-
hook. Even the cute baby Yoda moments, there's not enough of them, and they annoy me. I'm
The
sure-
anticipation
It's just a
was-
waste of time.
well, yeah, the anticipation is through the floor already.
Yeah.
And if the word of
Through the
mouth
floor.
is terrible, which it's going to be because like there is nothing to even get excited about having seen it. I don't know, like, could this be like a Marvel's level of disaster where it makes like 250 million and then it's done?
God,
Because
I
I
hope
just
so.
can't see how anyone's going to get excited for this.
Nothing changes until you hit bottom, Drinker, and I don't think it would
Still
change
working on
anyway. But like, listen, well, you keep going, buddy. It's all right. There's always a seat open. I'm willing to take you to any meeting whenever you want. But as far as Lucasfilm is concerned, they've been able to. We've all said it. They've been able to hide their failures and their diminishing returns behind the streaming numbers. They can't hide this. So this will be. If it does flop, it will have the impact that the Marvels did have, which did force Marvel to change badly, but they are trying to change. And I think it's too late. And as we've all said, the only way you can help Lucasfilm right now is completely gut it. Like everybody has to go down to catering. Keep the janitor. I guess he's okay, but that's about it.
Catering as well. I'm sure they make good food.
They probably do.
I would think the on-set catering is probably more than most movies get spent on them. But
Dave Filoni gets his cameo.
Yeah, I hope that made him feel good.
We were talking.
As the
Give some
Trapper, oh my
respect. His
God.
name is Trapper Wolf. It's the coolest character name ever.
Yeah.
It is actually fascinating how few characters are in this, how small it is. Like, because I know, like, they might necessarily be getting back to, or they're trying to recapture that spirit of season 1 of Mandalorian, where it was just a little self-contained stories, like the kind of Wild West in space, and so it doesn't have to be any characters. But this is a theatrical movie. It's a theatrical Star Wars movie that is the first one you've brought out in 7 years. This had to be something big. This is not a time to go small and make a little self-contained, nothing kind of story.
Hey, they had a Clone Wars bounty hunter in it, right? Clone Wars, Embo, whatever. I thought it was Cad Bane. Oh no, it's not Cad Bane.
What happened?
Bilbo.
What happened to Janu Coin, the Imperial?
They got him in jail now.
They got him in jail, and it's all good.
Well, look, no, he rolled over, so he's probably not in jail.
So, how many of you guessed that he was the guy they were essentially looking for? Like the minute you saw him, you're like, oh, that's going to be the guy.
Well, they killed the other guy. So I don't know. Like the first thing you would have thought is like the Mando Grogu movie is like, who's the bad guy going to be? It's like I figured Gus Fring, right? Because he was the bad guy in all seasons of the Mandalorian. Yep. And don't start telling me he's dead. He died like a million times. No kids, got cloned.
No one's truly gone, Mauler.
He was re-implemented as the CEO of Vought. Mauler was a little busy.
Oh yeah, used perfectly in that show too. You know, just utilizing him all the time. But I would have thought they would drag him back, make him put him in a fucking Star Destroyer. They've managed to cobble together Death Star technology. Mando's the only one that can stop him with the help of Luke Skywalker. You think that's what they would do, right? It was like, nope. Okay, well then no one's gonna give a fuck.
No, huts. Because they're so aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. Giant slugs running around.
Gary, did you think you could get in a hut boss fight? Did you imagine in your wildest dreams you could be... Jon Favreau said, thanks to technology that we have now, we can do things that they were never capable of in like the 70s and the 80s. We can have Jabba rolling around and punching people.
Yeah, they have Baby Yoda moving around like somebody's got him on a fishing pole. You know?
I'm blown away by it. Like they think with their CG that they're outclassing even the beginning of Return of the Jedi. Like, no.
So earlier when Drinker mentioned how convoluted getting the one member of the Imperials was, and then they do Janu, they have him show up and they get to his compound and it's gonna be so hard for us to get him. It's he's got so many guards, and then they cut the scene and he's just outside of his door. I'm just here. We didn't just show any of the fight, and you're coming with me. And then they cut again, and he's just he's taking him out the door. I was like, why even
George
set up
Lucas feels like Stan Lee to me because he passes the baton to Dave Filoni of Star Wars. Dave Filoni is Bob Iger in disguise. In other words, he betrayed the legacy. When Stan Lee passed away, Marvel couldn't wait for that, so they can go in and bastardize his legacy of characters that he gave to us before. So now they're trying to pay for it by giving us Avengers Doomsday, and I don't care.
They were going in.
How it's Doomsday. I think that's the problem. It might be more forgivable if Star Wars was leading toward a Doomsday style event, but it's not. Star Wars has nothing. Starfighter is the next thing on their docket. I don't believe they've got any not announced plans for future movies beyond that point. I suspect that will be a better movie than this. It might have some semblance of a story to it, but it's still. I mean, it looks like it's like a franchise that's always lived on a small TV network, and it's trying its first big adventure onto the big screen. Will it work? It's Star Wars. How are we in this position?
I mean, like if there's one kind of overriding sense that you get from what Star Wars was, it was epic. It was space opera, you know, and it was like this conflict on the most grandest scale imaginable played out across the big screen. And what is this? It is 2 episodes of a TV show sandwiched together.
We discussed it too. They didn't really project the Star Wars name for marketing on this. Not
No,
that.
it's
Not
got
as much as
credits in the beginning, and I can't remember Rogue One. I don't care, but it's got credits in the beginning. I hate that for a Star Wars thing. But I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
If this was dropped on Disney Plus, would you review it?
Probably. I mean, it's Star Wars, but
if it was a movie drop.
It was a movie drop on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
would you
probably.
review-
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
I think it's just because it's something.
I'd be 50-50 at this point.
I mean, I did say early on, this felt like from a financial point of view, it probably would have been more at home on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
This should have just been a Disney Plus Mandalorian special, because like the theatrical prospects for this are non-existent. No one's gonna care.
They probably shouldn't have been made to begin with. So Favreau has said that all the scripts for Mando Season 4 were written. He had finished them. And like he sort of said about this movie, there might be 1 or 2 things that, you know, tie into Ahsoka Season 2. There's nothing. Mando Season 4, the scripts apparently were supposed to all tie in because there's that plan for that big sort of Mandoverse movie to wrap all of these storylines up, and Season 4 was supposed to contribute to that. So then
God,
of course,
that
you might
sounds
get
like
Thrawn in
shit.
there, you might get a few more like obvious tie-ins, you might get more characters crossing over, and it's like, I'm sure that would have been terrible because I've seen everything else they've made, but at least it would be going somewhere. At least like there would be a reason sort of to see it if you have any interest at all in where the Ahsoka Mandoverse is going. But like all of those references seem either to have never made it into the script or to have been cut out. It deliberately makes itself pointless, even though we've had it confirmed that the stuff with a point has already been written, but they shelved it in favor of this.
I mean, at least Thrawn is a bad guy that like people vaguely know. Do you know some of that really struck me, right? You rewind far back enough in this insane era we're in. You have Han Solo saying, "I like this guy," to Finn. I've referenced this a couple of times, and I thought this little track is fascinating. He's like a major legacy character that is important to all of fiction. He's huge. He's like a statue of a fucking character in fiction. And then you move forward a bit, and you have Thor saying it to Captain Marvel. And I'm not gonna like at that point you love Thor because he's really strong, but he's more of a modern character at that point. The specific one we're talking about. And the further you go, it's just like all the batteries draining to the point where alien guy from TV show spin-off animated thing that I don't even know about says, "I like this kid." And I was just like, who even are you? Like we're trying to like transfer power into
this is the Filoniism.
I don't even recognize these people anymore.
So
this is the Filoniism coming in. Like it's like, oh, you remember like Star Wars Rebels, don't you? No, no.
You give it to Ahsoka. Thanks.
Ambu, whatever. Did they say his name in the movie?
No, I didn't. I had no idea who he was until you told me that's who he was.
Yeah. So they just, everybody's gonna know this from no.
So I think
when he gets on his ship and he's just there, and he's like, "Mando, we gotta have people alive. We're gonna interrogate them." I was just like, "Who the fuck you? What? Are you his like sleep demon that just appears every once in a while?" And he's just, what the fuck?
Gary, I think that's kind of the reason why this was put into theater. Everybody actually, but specifically what Gary was saying. This is clearly them trying to signify the turning point. This is the Filoni era. It's his little baby, and that's why it's not just on Disney Plus, and it's fizzling out faster than you could possibly imagine. And that's which is pretty much exactly what you'd expect, and it says everything you need to know about it going forward.
If I had to do this, like, and I would never want this job, but like if I had to try and drum up some kind of interest with this, I would bring together everything. So, Ahsoka, the fucking Boba Fett, Yeah, like I would do that. I would bring and Mando, and like
Kinda
I
like
would try and
Sideshow
bring
Bob.
Gina Carano back so we could get Cara Dune in a cameo.
Let's get Reva. Let's get Reva
Get her in there for an 18 second
Yes.
cameo.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Just
Like,
an 18
just-
second
just
cameo from Gina
Fucking
Carano.
throw every like clump of shit against this wall and hope that something sticks, because man, it's all you got at this point. This is like, wait, we can prove that the Mandalorian is so popular he can stand on his own merits. He doesn't need all this like key jangling in order to generate interest. Yeah, he does.
I think this film does establish how the First Order came to power.
Because everyone's retarded.
But everyone's retarded.
Because all that stood between them and ultimate power was Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
They
Have you ever
just had to
seen a
wait for her to
76-year-old
die.
woman drive a car? Come on.
We were talking about this before, like that scene where she's in the X-wing and it's like, we're going to be firing directly on your position, and she's like, just does not give a fuck.
No, I know.
It's
I was
bad,
like,
man,
wait a
it's
minute,
bad.
what? We're gonna fire anyway. You're in or you're out. Oh well. Oh good, they made it by jumping 1,000 feet or 500 feet into a river and survived.
It shows you how powerful like Alien was as a movie, right? Where it's somehow made, it's given her street cred that's lasted like 40 years,
Yeah.
more than 40 years in fact. Where it's like, we've got Ripley in our movie, right? And that gives it legitimacy. But it's like the more shit projects that she's in and just phones in a crap performance, the less meaning that has. It's like she's the female equivalent of Samuel L. Jackson at this point.
Remember
When
the
I see
Defenders?
that fucking guy show up in a movie, I'm like, it sucks.
Because Sigourney Weaver's got that white girl magic. Bring it on.
Apparently, yeah. But yeah, the Defenders you were talking about, yeah.
Oh.
I remember her. I remember her.
Yeah.
When she fought Elektra.
Yeah.
I just find it funny how this movie is so inconsequential that half the chat is talking about Gina Carano. That's how inconsequential.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something to make
More
like,
people are
maintain
gonna
the
care
interest.
about the boys. Like it's bad, I guess, for us that they all landed at the same time. But yeah.
We
think
were
this is a
talking about
fart
that
in the wind.
earlier. I guess I should ask you, Gary, since you never got a chance to say your piece about the boys. How did you feel about that final episode?
I was so happy it turned out the way it did. It turned out exactly how I thought it would. When you set out to own the chuds, you end up pissing everybody off in the end. It was a joke that ran on way too long. Joke was on the audience. Ha ha, we got you. And but Eric Kripke pleased exactly who he wanted to please, the corporate critics. If you just make somebody a Trump allegory, 97 on Rotten Tomatoes, man. That's
It's
it.
so
Well,
funny
yeah,
that
for
the
sure, but it
boys-
seemed like he was fucking pleasing himself for the most part.
Well, yes, there was a lot of self-pleasing there. Anthony Starr, you said it, Mueller. I even included it in my video. Anthony Starr's performance carried the show, and he made something feel earnest and more complex than it really was. And then by the end, you found out that it was nothing. And even Carl Urban gets his act got old too, and he's great. Both these guys, they're both great, and they both had horrible writing, and their performances carried something that was really, if they weren't in it, you would have noticed more.
Well, to reference like the quote that we talked about earlier, there's this. Anthony Starr's goal was never to create Homelander as a Donald Trump parody. This actor was trying to play a character. Can you imagine
guy.
that?
Poor fella.
I know that's what Eric
crazy.
Kripke says too. Poor fella, he's trying to rationalize it. Oh well, it was it was a murder fantasy. That's all it was. It was just a murder fantasy, and it's so far off the comic books. It is just light years from the comic books.
It was just Eric Kripke's fantasy of like beating up and humiliating Donald Trump. Like,
Yeah.
okay, hope it was worth it,
And
buddy.
Elon. That was subtle, guys. I'm not sure if you caught it.
It was so
Elon was
subtle,
in
yeah.
there.
That was what Platoon was saying earlier.
Well, it's like
just to make
when
that
he talks
joke.
about like he's concerned about like declining fertility rates amongst the white people, and then Homelander immediately blasts him into space, and it's always like this thing throughout fucking The Boys where it's like Homelander's a genocidal maniac and a complete like god complex like messiah idiot, but he's not racist. I mean, like, come on, fucking calm down. Like, he's not that bad, you know.
Well, for that joke,
God
it completely
damn.
undermines defeating him in the end piece, is what Platoon was talking about. When you establish that 3-second rule of up, down, and space, like that speed is so fast, there's nothing anyone could ever do to Homelander. He tries to fly out of the room at one point, and his son tackles him, and you'd be like, well, there you go, that's like a counter. And it's like, dude, if you're going up at that speed, and someone tackles you from across, even at the same speed, which I doubt, you don't go down. You fly diagonal, basically, because you're going up and sideways at the same time. You burst out of the fucking... It's just like... It's all very boring and shit, and simultaneously ruined by all the jokes they're trying to tell. And then eventually you just turn around and you're like, why am I even bothering? Like, Eric Kripke didn't.
No. But, like, he got his moment. He got to own the shots, so...
Yeah.
That was a really cringe moment as well, where Kimiko she's kind of fully restored, and Lady Sage and Onion says, I did my bit too, and then kind of leaves before...
no accountability, just let go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You
I'm
never
shocked.
know what they
Fine, though.
sacrificed for them. You
Yeah.
sacrificed for the same energy.
But he's a god. He will find you. He's a god. Well, he's a proclaimed god. He's the supreme being.
The one thing I was going to ask about as well, because I was saying to you, the guys earlier, I had to play catch up with this episode because I came back in to watch the final one without like watching the previous season. Like, what happened to Queen Maeve? Did she just nope out of this season? Or what?
She went into hiding and we never saw her again.
So there's two answers to this, right? So one...
I heard the
she got-
actress didn't want to do it anymore. Like, she's done.
I guess there's three answers to this. She attacks Homelander as part of the fucking season 3 finale. She tackles Soldier Boy out of the tower before he explodes, which takes powers off Soups, and then falls from a skyscraper. So of course she's dead. And then Kirky was like, I can't kill a gay person or a bisexual person, whatever the fuck
Don't
they
bury
is.
your gaze.
I can't kill an LGBT, so of course she didn't die. And you're just like, what the fuck? What? And it's like, so she's alive. And you're like, and then she's just not in the show. And you're like, well, there was rumors that she didn't get along with Anthony Starr on set, but then there's also just she said she just didn't want to do it anymore.
I've heard that she's retired. Like, she doesn't act at all anymore. She's just left the industry.
That's what I meant about 3 explanations.
There you
There's-
go. Well,
Speech by the business.
it's a
How did you not get
contradiction.
in with Anthony Starr as well? Guy's fucking.
I don't know.
Watch Banshee.
I mean, he's very good at being a psychopath, so maybe there's more going on there.
Yeah.
Banshee is an awesome show. I highly recommend you watch it.
Told you.
Yeah, so you're adapting this super edgy comic, and I knew the problems were going to happen a long time ago when they changed. You know, the female of the species is what Kimiko is supposed to be called in the comics, but they wanted to give her a name to give her agency, and then they dialed back all the abuse that Starlight went through. Right. So once you're dialing all this stuff, well, it shows you're going to go soft on something, and then you lose what the boys the boys comic wasn't the greatest thing ever written. It was a fun read, and it was good for its time. We are way past that time. We are way past the deconstruction of superheroes and what if superheroes were bad. That's been done to death at this point. And it doesn't help that it took how long has it been? Season 1 came out in 2019, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
And you can
And
tell by
times
looking
change.
at the actors because they are old now. It's noticeable. Like I noticed it with Homelander, like in a lot of the
Yes.
close-up scenes. It's like Anthony Starr's aged quite noticeably. Fucking Carl Urban has never changed. Like,
No,
he's
he doesn't.
exactly the same.
He's a
I mean,
vampire.
He's a
clearly-
legend.
I mean, the guy clearly dyes his beard and all and his hair and stuff because like there's no fucking way a 53-year-old man has got like jet black hair. Fuck off.
And we love him for it.
I mean, you know, it's like you're playing a role. It's fine. Starlight, yeah, we talked about like how.
Oh my God.
she's
Perhaps
had,
age the worst.
yeah, like a young woman, beautiful, a fucking monster now who could barely make her face move in order to form correct
It looks
words.
like
Great
she's fixed
Godfather
it.
with Mel Gibson.
It looks
Promising.
like it's
And-
been. Sorry, go on.
No. I was going to say Miss Moriarty was a promising talent, and now she can just talk like Rachel Zegler on the front of a camera with subtitles underneath.
I saw her on the red carpet. It looks like it's been fixed a little bit. She's like looking a little.
She's had more work done, but
Yeah.
like people,
I mean,
it's crazy with her now
When
because
does more
it's
work
like
undo the other work that's been done?
probably not.
rolling the
long run,
dice every
otherwise.
time she fucking does it, you know? Sometimes you get work so bad that it's like it could only be up from here.
I love
Make
how they
it-
tried.
make it-
They tried to fucking explain this as well as like, oh, she has like Lyme's disease or whatever shit.
Graves'
they claim
disease.
Graves, yeah.
Graves' disease, yeah. And it's like, oh, did that change the shape of her fucking nose? Did that stop her
And her
lips
boobs?
from working? Did it make her
Did that
boobs like
force her
twice
to
as
get a
big as before?
Yeah, get a boob job from Graves? Is that how that works? I don't
It's
understand.
like, yeah, fuck off. Like, no one buys this bullshit.
All the
man.
ladies will be signing up for
Stop it.
Graves' disease then. No, making Butcher like heroic at the end he's the bad guy in the comics. He is the bad guy.
The story is so obviously
Yes.
there in DNA. Butcher is basically a reflection of Homelander because of Homelander. He's like, so giving him his satisfactory like win from being basically turned into a husk of a man thanks to Homelander is kind of strange, but like none of it matters. None of the character stuff matters other than humiliate Homelander / person I believe this is.
Do you mind if I spoil some of the comics? At the end?
Yeah, do it.
I think it's long enough now. Yeah, you can spoil it.
Butcher kills the female Frenchie and Mother's Milk.
No.
Yes.
No.
At the end.
That much of a bastard.
Yep.
That is fucking diabolical.
And Black Noir is a clone of Homelander and did the horrific acts.
Ah, we
which pinned
finally
on
made
him,
it to
and he
this
was
part.
created to be like a fail-safe. And it didn't do that at all.
I'm actually almost done the game.
Yeah.
They had a better idea. Nothing.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go with that. It's
We-
also known as the Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's an option.
Let me answer a couple of super chats just before
Sure.
we move forward here. Yeah, love that the Drinker and Mauler are making short films now, not just critiquing them. As a fellow filmmaker, it's seriously inspiring and honestly overdue. If you get a sec, please watch one of mine starring the great Toby Jones. Watch on Calipist, a moral man. Cheers. Nice.
Cool, dude.
Okay. Well, thank you for that recommendation, and best of luck with A Moral Man. And yeah, Mauler and I are making short films. It's been great. You've got All in Good Time. It's released on your main channel now. You can watch it right now. Go see it. Enjoy it. Spunk
With
over it.
many on the way from yourself, correct?
Yes. So Trial by Fire just released to the Kickstarter backers, so they get to see it first because obviously they made it happen. We're going to do our premiere for it in Toronto on June 27th, so tickets are available for that now. So get those in right when you can. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be getting drunk as fuck and hanging out with all
Hey.
you guys when we're there.
I'm going to be in Wisconsin during that time, not far.
Well, Gary, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking what you're thinking.
Let's meet in London. Perfect.
Let's do it.
No, if you're there, awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. Alright. Let's continue onward. We should be heading into the final boss battle soon. I don't know how much left or if they have added anything beyond this, but I guess we'll see.
Looking forward to that. But yeah. So yeah, we've got that, and we've also got Complications, which is the other short film that we did. So we're going to release both of them at the same time and have the premiere over there. So that should be a lot of fun. Let's see what the next one here was. Scroll. Yes, this is from Razoria. I would have given Mango and Grok a 10 out of 10 if John Walker came out of nowhere and curb stomped Grogo into paste. I would as well, actually. That would be
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Grok. Yeah, I've been finding more enjoyment in Star Wars books than in any recent piece of media. My biggest possible hope, even if it's on life support, is that they set up the Thrawn trilogy for the next big arc in this franchise.
The problem is
have you seen what they've done with Thrawn? It's a retarded person's idea of what smart people should be like.
You have a version of that which is written by Dave Filoni in the Ahsoka show. So, unfortunately, and also it would require basically doing away with all the sequel trilogy films as well. Can't be leading to the same place. You're right, it's what they should do, but it would entail A, getting rid of everything else they've done, and B, hiring people who are not chimps to write it. And I don't think they're capable of doing either of those things.
Agreed 100%. Lucasfilm tried everything and failed. Now they did nothing and failed. So in that sense, they did nothing wrong. I mean, your logic is impeccable in this one, in this case, actually. So yeah, you're right. The Mando movie is just like, it's the ultimate expression of, well, if we do nothing, then we can't fuck up because we've achieved nothing. We've tried nothing in the first place. So.
Well,
yeah,
and in another
I
sense,
guess.
they've been doing that for 7 years, at least on the movie scale. Try nothing will never fail, but they were like, we should probably do something eventually.
The
But they
problem
tried
is, though,
nothing.
like, when you spend $200 million to do nothing, I don't know if you have really won.
Only
You know?
Disney could achieve such a wonderful fucking endeavor. What in the world? Like, how do we get here is the question everyone just randomly thinks about. It's like, well, through many, many, many chapters of insane disappointment and stupidity.
Well, like you've said before, like the destruction of Star Wars as an IP and as a cultural force is going to have to be studied one day, because you took something that was instantly recognizable to any person anywhere on Earth. Almost. You know, you could say, who is Luke Skywalker? To any person, like, fucking almost anywhere, and they'd probably know. You go now, like, hey, do you know who Din Djarin is?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you having a stroke? Like, no, that's where we're at now.
Well,
It's become irrelevant.
when we have been saying for years now that Star Wars is dead, and people were saying hyperbolic, or they were just looking at it from, well, they're still making it. This is exactly what we meant.
Like I said,
Like
we're a team.
what we're getting now is pure apathy. Like when people were upset, I'm not upset. I laugh at this. This is funny to me. But when people were upset, that means they still cared. They are beyond caring now, and I don't think you can resurrect this anytime soon. It would take something that Disney doesn't have, a creative mind to do it.
Good.
So, you know, when Matt Walsh is making a video stating Star Wars is dead, I'm sure he's going to start it out with, I'm not sure if you heard or not, but Star Wars is dead. I think I've figured it out. You know, it's like, yeah, nice to be here. You know, we've been talking about it for years, and we said this is where it was going to end up. And now Star Wars is just...
Star Wars is long gone. No saving that.
brand content on a fledgling streaming service, D Plus, that had to be combined with Hulu just to keep it going, and it's just a category. That's all it is. So the greatest cinematic IP of all time is just a little box on a streaming service.
I think it's struggling to be a brand as well, because I know there were some reports over sort of the last few years that some of its commercial partners, in terms of like merchandise, were listing it almost as a liability. It was costing money to host this supposed brand. They were not shifting enough to justify making it. I mean, think of all of the was it Reva's lightsaber, I think, that was supposed to get like a black edition, so that was cancelled. That was never going to work.
Who was going to buy that?
I know, that's the thing. But then On the other hand, you go back in time to the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and it's like you will get people buying random battle droid toys. People would have bought the equivalent in even the 2000s of a Reba lightsaber, because that brand was healthy back then, even with the prequels as divisive as they were. Now, it is just a museum piece. The only thing that's worth having is something that's been out of production for decades.
And and Gary's right. Like, they're gonna pine for the days that people hated it. Like, oh man, I wish we could have those back.
Yeah, at least people cared enough to like get engaged with it. Yeah,
I love that Lucasfilm is a liability. That's brilliant. Platoon, absolutely.
It is.
Specifically, it was Hasbro, I think, was what you were talking about. Hasbro started pulling all sorts of stuff from their Pulse line because they couldn't get enough backers.
Well, didn't Az say they're doing a 1/6 scale Hot Toys Road to the Hut? And it's like, who the fuck's buying that?
why? What is the point? Yeah. I really do try to still like Star Wars, but after the sequels, I lost it. Andor made me feel a glimmer of hope. Yeah, join the club. Then I watched Mando, Boba, and Ahsoka. It's bad. And after hearing you discussing this movie, what happened? It's sad. And hi, Gary. Well,
Hello.
That's the main thing. But it is sad and it is pathetic. And this is just it's just a
By the way,
example of a franchise that is completely run out of food.
I've got a friend I've got a friend in Texas. He WhatsApped me 2 weeks ago and he said, Jace, look at this. All the black female Star Wars toys aren't selling. And I just fell off. And also, you got to remember this, guys, that when this film comes out, I'll be very curious to see what the name of Star Wars does in terms of box office revenue. And also regarding that and Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, if that performs really well next year, are they going to say, well, it's a one-off, and then people become very enthused about it again? And I think for Grok and Mandalorian, they're going to do something that's similar on YouTube now. If you look up fan reaction to 1983 Return of the Jedi, it's a really wholesome clip of fans not fighting, amazingly enough, but talking about who they want to be. They're going to do something like that for Mandalorian. You're going to get all the people like, oh my God, that was such a great film. Go and watch it.
Well,
but the difference is you won't get people queued up around the block to watch it.
No, because like we've moved beyond the identity politics phase with Star Wars, and like with something like Mandalorian and Grogu, there's nothing there to even get angry about.
No.
There's no point. There's no story. There's no
nothing.
substance, no material. There's nothing in there for your soul. There's nothing at all.
It's going to be
This is like
difficult to
a
review.
nerd shit, where it's like, is it better to be hated or ignored? Like, I don't know, man. I really don't.
It's crazy too. This is Jon Favreau's like grand exit from Star Wars. This is him being like, all right, I'm waving my way away. Best of luck, everyone. Enjoy my last contribution. You're just like, what the fuck?
What contribution?
What?
Is it definitely his last? I thought he was threatening more because he said that.
As far as I know,
many
this
places
is the
you
end
can
for
take
him.
Grogu.
He's threatening more.
As far as I know,
That is-
he's passing this on to other people. It's like, this is his film and he's out. He doesn't want to make it anymore.
They haven't adjusted box office. It hasn't really changed. They're saying 85 to 100 million domestic here in the country that counts America.
The opening weekend.
For the 4-day weekend. So we got a holiday. It's Memorial Day weekend.
It's gonna have to go some to reach that, man.
Yeah, so they're saying anywhere from 350 million to 550 million total worldwide.
We'll see.
We'll see.
They're really
If this
banking
does-
on the fact that it's a holiday. They're really banking on that.
If this does 550 million, I'll be shocked.
I mean, I don't think it'll get close to that, but I'm just saying is that they specifically released it on a holiday weekend, hoping it would help the boost it, and I don't think it's gonna matter.
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, I would rather do my taxes than watch this again.
Yeah. To the point about Rota the Hutt speaking English, I can remember Dave Filoni in a Clone Wars documentary saying most aliens in that show spoke English as they didn't want too many subtitles in the kids' show. Thoughts?
What are you talking about?
I mean, like, the Hutts are well known. Like, I guess the only exposure we've had with, like, the Hutts has been through the movies where they very clearly speak their own language and it's subtitled and it's the big, gravelly, booming voice. And so when you hear, like, just like this guy, like, talking like this, it's, in plain English, it is so...
It's jarring.
What do we do? If fucking kids can read, kids watch those movies. What's going on?
Well,
Fucking hell. Maybe not anymore.
They have to look up at the screen to read. They have to look up at that screen to read. That's
I mean, come on, Dave. I watch Far East Asian action movies. They've got subtitles. Is that a bad thing to say?
It's just
Terrible.
Drinker, I just saw your cameo in book 3 of Dungeon Crawler Kyle. That was awesome. Your book series will be the next read. Oh, well, apparently, according to the author of that fucking series, I'm like persona non grata. Like, he doesn't want to work with me. He's ashamed.
And wanted to make a big issue out of it.
Yeah. It's like, man, I've fucking forgotten I even did that thing. It was like 40 minutes of work like 5 years ago.
It was all for his Peacock series that's in development. Like, he thinks he's made it now, you know, on the 10th most watched streaming service in America. All right.
Yeah.
Hope it gets made, buddy.
Good luck with that being a man. And honestly, the worst part about Disney Star Wars to me is that when I rewatch the original 6 episodes, it makes me feel like shit knowing where the lore goes. I much prefer imagining what could be rather than what is.
I think you can still do that. That's the thing. I mean, it takes a slight bit of effort to erect this sort of Jeffersonian wall between what is good Star Wars and what isn't Star Wars anymore. But each to their own. I don't have a problem doing that. It's episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Andor, usually Rogue One, and then everything else is just some clown who charge and then throw a bunch of fan fiction.
I 100% agree, and it took
Wow,
some
that
effort,
just
but I
fucked me
managed
up
to
big
accomplish
time.
this with Star Trek, where I can watch the original series and the TNG and stuff, basically everything up until about like the end of Star Trek Enterprise, and say that's like cycled off into its own protected little bubble. That is like real Star Trek. Anything beyond that is just bullshit, nonsense, fan fiction. Don't worry about it.
The most impressive feat that Disney has pulled off is that people now accept the prequels and are like, yes, that was good. That was part of the peak right there, when that used to be the dividing point with prequels and the OG trilogy.
It's still contentious to this day, but it's solidifying around that, and it's the same with Indiana Jones. Like, people look back on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull now, and they're like, yeah, perhaps I judge you too harshly compared to fucking Dial of Destiny. It's fuck that movie. I put it this way: if I had to choose between those two movies, like which one do you have to watch on loop ad infinitum, it would be Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, no question.
It is better than Dial of Destiny.
Yes.
The other thing, gentlemen, I was going to bring up was Supergirl is also a movie which is going to happen this year, hypothetically at least.
Direct breaking a sea. Oh my god.
It's had an interesting part, and part of it has been fueled by Millie Aldercox talking about it and people's perception of women on screen, which ruffled a few feathers. But now she is taken to Variety to clarify her opinions on this.
Thank God.
She's doing a Rachel Zegler, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll bring it up here. Yeah, so speaking to Variety in a new feature interview, Aldercox further elaborated on her comments that triggered a bunch of adult men on the internet. So, I didn't even say men, I said people. This was referring to people have gotten too comfortable with ownership over women's bodies. I mean, if you say something like that, my mind immediately jumps to men rather than women,
it's a bit
crazily enough.
If the sentence with like women have gotten too into controlling women's bodies doesn't really make sense, does it? It'd be like, well, maybe the what? So yeah, people just assumed you talk about men.
And she was talking about men because she now proves the point with the follow-up. It's like, I didn't say men, but men are angry. It's like, because everybody knew that that's what you were talking about, and now you confirmed that's what you were talking about, so everyone was right.
Well, here we go. It's like, so they got so angry, and I was like, you're proving my point. You're proving my point. And the backlash is from people whose profiles have no photo, who are burner accounts, or someone whose name is Dad of 4 Christian, which is hilarious to me. But I mean, whose opinion do you really care about? If you're pissing the right kind of people off, you're doing okay.
So here's a
Where are the receipts?
You're an actress and you have a movie coming out, an American blockbuster, which needs to do really well in America. Your job is not to piss off Dad of 4 Christian, because that's 5 movie tickets you're not going to get. You're doing a bad job. If you read the rest of this article, by the way, she comes off as really nice, really grounded, Like basically what you would assume she was from other interviews before all of this controversy. Kind of the impression she gives, like everything around House of the Dragon. The reason quite a lot of us liked her, liked her performance, but also she seems like a normal, well-adjusted person. Everything else in this interview is all that. I came away until I got to this point thinking, no, you seem like someone I would really get on with. And then, unfortunately, it gets to this section, and then this section is the bit that's clipped for the headline. If she'd led with everything else, and if the media had been helping her out in this situation, we wouldn't be in this mess. But unfortunately, she's doing the Hollywood thing. Hollywood women have to say lines like this, otherwise they don't get employed.
Well, and it's such a confrontational attitude to take towards people, because exactly as you said, you know, if you piss off, say, father of four, it's like, well, that's one person who's not going to be taking their family to go watch your movie. But at the same time, it's like you are literally employed to sell the product to people. You're an actor, sure, but like when you're in the promo stage of this whole thing, when you're going out on the promotional tours and you're doing your interviews and stuff, you're a salesman. You're there to sell your product. Your product is the movie, and you need to sell it to as many people as possible. And if you're going to take this attitude, like, hey, I did a dumb thing that annoyed a lot of people, and you know what? That's a good thing, because I pissed off the right people. Like, well, you're going to piss off more of the right people that you could theoretically have had as customers. Is that really what you want? I mean, it's the Eric Kripke approach, I suppose. Like, hey, the only people who still watch my show are like the quarter of the audience that I once had, but like they 100% agree with my politics, and that's great. Well, okay, awesome.
Well, this is the major issue with majority of actors getting most of their money up front. They don't realize that what they're saying, because it doesn't affect their bottom line, it affects the movie's bottom line. They've already been paid.
Also, you know, slight defense, not defense of the extremely stupid thing she's here saying, it's kind of difficult for her to be selling this movie, because this interview starts off with the Variety person editorializing and saying, unusually, it might even be the first time, I was not able to screen this movie before this interview. And Millie Alcock said she hasn't seen it either. We're what, like a month out? So I don't know how unusual that is in Hollywood, but I mean, it seems to me like Variety seems a bit quick.
Look, Platoon first. They don't know what edit they're going with yet, okay? You gotta give them a second. They're figuring it out.
They've got to go through all those test screenings. Like, I mean, I think it's unanimously agreed amongst this panel, like, Supergirl is gonna flop hard. No one gives.
Well, the fun fight was, would it lose more money than Mando and Grogu?
I was just about to say
like,
that.
What's the greater degree of apathy here? I mean, I think this actually might do better in the sense that, like, people have transitioned beyond apathy towards it to, no, we're actually kind of, like, disliking it now because, you know, it's getting into this identity politics arena that it didn't need to, but, like, it's picking a fight that it can't win. Like, well, okay, if you want to pick that fight, we'll fucking beat you. Fine. Good luck to you.
Well, Paul Tassi on X dropped a doozy about he doesn't think that Supergirl is going to do that well. And there's a comment in the article where, I know, what a shocker, right? There's a comment where Millie says, well, I'll be wearing my costume sometimes, but you might mostly see me in jeans and a ripped t-shirt. She's called Supergirl because I want to see a hot-looking woman, well, not in Alcott's case, as Supergirl, like Laura Vandervoort in Smallville, who was awesome. She's my favorite. Just like Erica Durant is my favorite Lois Lane. But I guess if you're paying a ticket to see Supergirl and she's not in the film, get a refund? Oh, wait a minute, you can't. So that's how Warner Brothers makes their money.
I mean, like, there's two strands to this. Like, on the one hand, it's I don't think there's a huge amount of enthusiasm for this character and the situation of this character, like, within the James Gunn DC universe, because, one, he's failed to capture the public's imagination of Superman, and if you can't do him, good luck doing it with Supergirl, because she's a fucking, like, subsidiary character that needs a strong franchise to prop her up. But two, like, the version of Supergirl that we've seen in these trailers, she's that drunken, messed up party girl who's not here to, like, live up to your expectations. Well, fuck off then, I guess. Like, I don't care about you. If you don't care about yourself, why should I as an audience member? Like, there's nothing that you can offer that's going to get me interested. And yeah, look, when you also pair that with an actress who doesn't seem to give a fuck and like is straight up out to antagonize the audience, well, you've got yourself another Snow White in the making. So,
I like Sasha Cali in The Flash as Supergirl. She was great. She should have been given a second chance, but James Gunn took over and that was it. We never got that shot again, sadly.
And eventually, so it's one of those things, you know, how many times can you say it's not made for you and the people don't show up to watch it? And you're like, well, why didn't anyone come along? It's, eventually that's...
Guess why?
That's going to bankrupt everything.
It's the Elizabeth Banks effect all over again.
Yes, exactly.
We don't need you to support our movie. Well, turns out you do, actually.
Otherwise,
no one's going to watch it.
It's a little important for customers to want to go to a movie and feel welcome. And as Platoon said, Hollywood can't afford, the DCU can't afford this. Hollywood can't afford this, and they're still doing it. They need to shut up.
I don't understand. Why would
You
you
can
just...
feel however you want politically, but you need to shut up because your industry is not going to survive at this point, and it's not hyperbole at all. The industry with it, the centralized industry of Hollywood is dying, and it really all depends on a mayoral election right now, what that future will be. So the best thing to do is, and she walked right into the media trap, right? Yeah. She's given this nice interview, and then they bring that back up again. She falls right into it, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what everybody's talking about. So you'd think their agents would make them a little more savvy, but they just keep doing it. Oh, well. Movie's probably gonna suck anyway.
The thing is, yeah, that's the thing, because like there's what we get from her in interviews, but there's also like what we're actually going to get from her on screen as Supergirl. And the winning move, I think, would have been to go for a Wonder Woman type approach, where she's like very earnest, she's warm, she's like likable, she's like trying her best in very difficult situations. What we get instead is like, no, and as I said before, like she's drunk, she's like party girl, she's not interested in any of this heroic crap.
She's messy.
Yeah, she literally pisses on Superman's legacy. Like, no, I don't need this edgy fucking like, oh, I'm too cool to care about anything bullshit. No, you should care, because you don't have the luxury of like fucking apathy now. You're desperate for people to like you, and you need to reflect that. You need to actually make people like you, because what we have right now, it's not likable. It's just an asshole. It's an asshole who doesn't care about anything. We're so fucking done with this like nihilistic superheroes are over kind of crap. If you're gonna make anything work, it's got to be earnest and it's got to mean something. I don't think they can do that, but that's where they needed to go with this.
And James Gunn isn't the guy. He's trapped in like 2005 to 2012 taste as far as comic books and superheroes. The era that the Boys comic came out. That's what he's trapped in. You open your trailer with a CGI dog pissing on Superman's face. Yeah. Like, what? What are we doing? So, yeah. I think it's, man, I don't know if there's a poly market on this. I'm not a betting dude. I don't like losing money. But I would, like, I think that would be an interesting bet. What makes less money? Supergirl or...
Hanno, give your thoughts. But no, let's go color-wise, right? So, if I had to make the prediction who's going to make less, I think Mando would make less, but it's going to be close. I think Mando is probably going to be around the 300 million mark, I reckon. I think Supergirl might see close to 350, but it's going to be close.
Right, well, for me, I think there's no fucking way that Supergirl gets above. I've always said 40% Superman, so we're looking 250 absolute maximum, I think, for me. And I don't even know, I think they've lied through their teeth about the budget for that film. So I think it's losing a shit ton of money. Mando's probably losing a bunch of money, so I'd say Supergirl's gonna lose more.
Well, are we, wait, before we clarify, are we, which makes less gross, or which we think will lose more
just
overall?
Not profitability, just which makes less.
Okay.
Makes it, I can see Supergirl making marginally less money than Mando and Grogu.
Oh.
Kung Fu?
I'm going to say, just on the Star Wars name alone, this might shock the panel. I'm going to go for the nice 500 million that Grogu makes because it's Star Wars and families and kids are going to go and watch it. Supergirl made a few videos about this and I keep changing my mind, but I'm going to sit firmly on its total worldwide gross will be $340 million.
Even if you could
I think you're being wildly optimistic with Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm going to go and watch it. So, yeah, shoot me in the head, why don't you?
It's the tricky thing. It's because like, so much of it depends on what Supergirl is. Mando doesn't have any rewatch value, so it'll do well opening and then really badly on second weekend. I don't know with Supergirl because we don't know what the film is, but.
So I'm gonna say Mando. I feel like Star Wars is slightly deader than the DCU. I think there might just be some, you might capture some interest in the in terms of like, oh well, let's see where they go with this. Whereas Mandalorian and Grogu.
Alright, so that's going to do it for the RE4 remaster. I'm going to end this stream. Going to start up another one. And we're going to do RE5 New Game Plus.
Patch me through. I've obtained the amber.
Excellent.
Just one question. What are you planning to do with this?
We do not pay you to ask questions. All you need to know is a new dawn is breaking. 100 will give their lives so that just one may live. I am expediting that change.
So, we're talking millions of casualties.
Billions.
How ambitious. We're changing course now.
Excellent job.
I could probably beat that if I went through on a New Game Plus, but I don't think I'm gonna do that on this game. If anything, I'll go and do a New Game Plus on the original. Like, the remake was okay, but there were some moments in that I was thinking, why the fuck did they change it? Why did they butcher certain characters? There were definitely moments throughout that they didn't make it better. Like, some things, sure, the movement, gun gameplay, I'm blanking on the name for them. The creatures that you shoot and they just don't die in the original. You actually have a way to kill them. They have 3 hearts in this. I like that change. Like I said, some things they change good. Others I could care less for. So we do have the New Game Plus on this. Good to go. Alright, I'm going to end this and start up an RE5 stream.